Alright, teaching the wild swing defense. So if you're trained, you do Muay Thai, you do a lot of sparring, you're used to getting hit, you know how to block punches correctly and they won't sort of intimidate you, you're used to that sort of pressure. But for someone like a child who's never trained before, it's a very scary situation for them to be in, so they won't be able to think of so many things like the different blocks or how to counter or how to control their breathing or the distance and the timing. All those two things is too much for them to think about. So you just want to give them a simple defense move to focus on. So we teach them how to do train tracks. So your hands are going to be here, so you're still in your guarding stance, but your hands are going to be straight out. So from your passive stance, I'll turn my hands facing each other. These are my train tracks. I'm going to use my forearms, the sharp bits of my forearms, to deflect the punch. So we're talking someone who's untrained, who's just trying to take your head off with a wild swing. I'm going to be here and I just step forward. So I just step forward with my train tracks, which is with my head down, which allows me to be in a safe position, but I'm still blocking the punch and I'm not taking the full impact of the punch. From that situation, I can neutralize him by grabbing the arm and then from here. So I've got one hand on the neck and the other hand when I go into it is I'm blocking on the soft bit of the tissue of the arm, the bicep here, and one on the collarbone here, and then I'll lock up this arm like this. Okay, so from here I can knee, but we normally teach the kids just to grab around the neck and to throw them off balance, and then you take it in your passive stance. So you're just creating distance to get away from the situation, especially if you're untrained and you don't know how to fight. You're not used to this sort of situation. But here, if I've got my hands up and I've told him to back off and he's still not backing and he goes for a wild swing, I can just step into it with my head down, using my train tracks, locking up the arm, hand around the neck. All I'm going to do is pivot around, so with my back foot pivot around while I use my lead hand to throw him off balance, take my passive stance. It'll give me space between me and my attacker, and it'll also allow me to run away and go and get help.